Alright, I'm gonna do the ride out from my road, mostly to show people the mud season. As you can see, I've got some fairly aggressive tires, but our mud season is a little bit better than it was in past years because we've got road fabric. I'll show the sections where the road fabric is, but this is also to show the noise difference between the tires. I'll link the other video to this one. But anyways, here we go. Might have to put it into four-wheel drive because it's 25 degrees, the ground's frozen, and I have to back up a hill to get out of here. We'll see how this goes. Yes. Okay. Four-wheel drive's a little better. I gotta cut one more little piece off the fender well over there because the tire's still touching. I had ironed that out, but as soon as I put the bumper on, it actually weighed me down a little bit more. So I'll be quiet in this section right here so that you can hear the noise difference, and then I'll be quiet again once we hit the tar so you can also hear the noise difference. And the link to the description of how the other tires sounded will be in the description. Alright, so you get the idea. This section doesn't have any fabric in it, so you can see like little ruts here. This section here does have fabric in it going all the way down. This area here was pretty much, I wouldn't say impassable, but it was really bad in past years. So you can see this section here is a rut down the middle. There is fabric in here, but I think it was permeated over the years. I don't believe there's any fabric in this section here, but this section never got really bad. But you can see how there's some ruts in here, but nothing crazy. I get out of here with my Miata because I can go around it. I think this section has fabric in it as well. See, there's a pretty good sized rut here. Right down the middle, but we can get around it. This section up here, I once saw a Subaru that was sunk right up to its door sills, literally up to its door sills, and could not move. There was no getting out. So this has road fabric in it now. The only permutation through it is where the culvert is, because we cut through it when we had to put a culvert in. Other than that section there, which was completely impassable, you could get right through no problem. Fuck. And that's it. Our road really doesn't do too bad as far as the mud goes. We've got a little bit down here. I don't believe there's any road fabric in this section, but we also have springs coming in from the side of the road. Alright, so as we take off down here, I'm going to be quiet so that the people who are watching this for the tires can listen to the tire sounds. Clicking sound you can hear. There's a slight imbalance on the wheels, so I need to bring the tires in to get them balanced. But you hear that in the wheel. This has been aligned, so I can drive this with one hand now. Before it had a toe out, so it was pretty bad. It was to the point where you had to have a hand on the wheel, otherwise it would try and the understeer was pretty bad. You had to fight it. about maybe 4 days in worth of driving on these tires. So these tires haven't found their groove yet either. I figured I would give a little bit of time on the truck before I brought it in to get those balanced. But I did put the tires on to get them aligned. The guy did an awesome job of it. I have yet to figure out what that rattling noise is behind me. I think it's the bed sides. So every once in a while you hear like a click. Right there. That I think is the bed sides. I can't find anything that's loose anywhere. And I don't remember hearing that before. So. I also have an extra 60 some odd pounds on the front end now because of the front bumper. I will have more once I get the winch on there. But I'm waiting to put the winch on there until I get some lower supports in. I want to make sure the bumper has a chance to do any kind of damage that it's going to do. I want to see that ahead of time before I start reinforcements. This does smooth out a little bit once the tires warm up a little bit. But that clicking is definitely a balancing issue. The bushings are all good. The alignment's fine. So, something I'll just have to deal with. Levels are pretty good with these tires, actually. I'm happy with my choice of the 23-inch tires. I don't think I lost any speed with them. As big as they are compared to the other tires. It does fine there. I think it takes a little bit more oomph to get it going than the other tires, but I mean, you've got more rolling mass and it's a 3-cylinder engine. You're only going to get so much out of this thing. Windshield's fine though. I had the heater on this morning to get the frost off the windshield. Once this thing's warmed up, it cooks quite nicely actually. It's interesting because you wouldn't think of a vehicle like this would have halfway decent heat, and it really does. Because the levers are broken, I got a little, I have a pull rod down here to adjust between the windshield and the floor setting. Occasionally I'll forget to, like this doesn't do anything. It's not connected to anything. I could have taken the time and fixed that inside the dash, but it really wasn't worth it to me. be a show vehicle of any kind. This is just basically a daily driver, and I go into the hardware store picking up stuff in a truck. It's a 1992 truck, and it is what it is. I may eventually put something in here. I have a super crappy stereo that I bought years ago. I was going to put it in Mary's truck, and it turned out to be just too crappy for that. And I didn't put it in. The radio part really sucked. But it does have a big screen on it, and it does have Bluetooth, so I can use my cell phone. So like right now, if I want to use this cell phone, I've got well, it's in the glove compartment right now, but I've got a Bluetooth that I stick up here and I can use it. And I had another one that I had over there for a while, and they're solutions, but not great ones. So I think I might put it's a 2-place DIN set, so I'll have to cut. That's fine, I don't care. Right now I have a hole in here, so if I was worried about the aesthetics of it all, that would be probably not the first place I'd be worried about. I don't know if you can see the blinkers or not, but the blinkers blink a lot faster with the LEDs. I'm probably going to end up having to buy a heavy-duty relay. Ironically enough, you have to get a heavy-duty relay to run things with less load. The nomenclature seems a little off with that, doesn't it? Yeah, it definitely can. With the caveat of that's going to be on the level. I guess when you get to mountain territory, things are going to change because this just doesn't have the power to get itself up the hill. But I'm not super worried about that because I really don't have that many hills to go through. And when I do get to a hill, I think most people see this as such an oddity that they're not even mad about being slowed down. They just kind of they're observers. They don't really give me any crap over it. Alright, so I think this is pretty much where I ended the last video. I'm going to end this one in the same spot. If you're still here, see you later, YouTube.